Hi guys, this is Anachi with you. And in this video, I'm gonna make different anti-stress toys. And for this, I've got with me such special kit for creating soft squishes. These are called Hitohada gel. I'll test the first set for creating completely transparent squishes, and at the end, I'll make a comparison between these three sets. So this set of Hitohada gel comes with two liquid jars, one of which is a gel and the second is a hardener. There's also an instruction manual with pictures, and also there is a small bag inside which has white powder. This is an analog of ordinary starch. Since the squishes will be transparent, I think that the mold should be unusual. That's why I chose to make a diamond squishy, and for this I bought a special silicone mold from the website AliExpress. First of all, we need to measure the volume of the future figure. To do this, I'm pouring water into the diamond mold and then transfer it into another container, which is placed on an electronic scale. So the total weight shows almost 18 grams. And in order to make the correct proportions, we need to add the transparent gel and the hardener in the ratio 1:1. And just in case to make sure that this mixture is enough, I'm adding another 2 grams to the total weight. Now we'll carefully mix it and pour it into the mold. I'm gonna take at least a day for our squishy diamond to be solidified. Well, it's been 24 hours, which means it's time to check out our anti-stress. It sticks a little, and in order to prevent this, I'm gonna sprinkle some powder on it that came with this set. And now we can carefully take the diamond out. Unfortunately, our squishy didn't solidify completely, and its surface is a bit loose, so we can say that the diamond didn't turn out well. I guess we need to add more of the hardener, so I'll quickly redo everything now, and I hope that this time we'll have a squishy diamond. Now I'm adding 9 grams of gel and 1.5 grams of more hardener. Further, we'll mix it and pour it in the mold, and again wait for a day. So it's an attempt number 2. 24 hours have passed and it's time to take out the diamond. I can already say that the squishy doesn't stick so much to the hands, and now it's much easier to get it out of the silicone mold. Everything was going so well, but unfortunately the tip of the squishy diamond isn't completely hardened. Most likely it happens because the size of the figure is quite high, and therefore the bottom doesn't solidify as well. But I guess we can consider that it turned out not bad. Because all these boundaries are clearly visible, it is soft and stretches well, and it is transparent. Of course, it would be cool to give it a light blue tint, but unfortunately you can't add any coloring to the Hitohada gel. Unless that one that is developed especially for it. Well, I decided not to stop on this and test the other 2 sets, and on the basis of conclusions we can find out whether it's worth buying them and which one is better. The next set will be used to create the usual soft squishy. Here also we have 2 sad jars, one of which is a milky gel weighing 64 grams and the other is a hardener of 100 grams. I decided to make a couple of yummies and the Japanese beer Rilakuma. Actually, with this set, it's difficult to find out how much of it is needed for both the figures. Because when you mix 2 components, they turn into form that is constantly increases. And even when it is poured into the mold, it may seem that this is all, but it will still increase. The only thing that is mentioned here is the proportions. On 6.4 grams of gel, we need to add 10 grams of hardener. In simple words, we need 1.5 times more hardener.
As a
a result, the foam that I got was enough for a donut, a piece of cake, and the Japanese beer. And for these squishes to be solidified, we need to wait about 4 hours. At the end of this time, the foam solidified completely, and such antistresses began to resemble the real squishes. By the way, this time there are almost no large holes on the figures, which is really good. Now it remains only to paint them, and I'll start first with the yummies. The excess foam can be removed with a stationary knife, then gently trim with scissors and thereby make a smooth transition. I'll do the crispy part of the donut and the pie in the same color. For all the squishes, I always use a volumetric 3D paint. It smooths the surface well, fills the cells, and doesn't form cracks when squeezed, which is, by the way, very important. I'm coloring the glaze of the donut in bright pink color, and after that I'll make a multicolored topping. I'm making a spreading chocolate on the piece of cake in dark brown color. Next, there will be a pink and white cream. I usually apply several coats of color, but here it looks like just one coat is enough. Next, I'm gonna color the strawberry. I'm using green and bright red color. By the way, you can use red color for the stuffing as well, as it's also from strawberry. Now look what wonderful yummies we have got! Well, with donut everything is clear, it looks really cool, but the piece of cake turned out like a real one. In general, these squishes are so cool both in appearance and in properties. The only thing I wanted is, after squeezing, the toy returns to its shape a bit more slowly. I almost forgot that I still have one more figure to make. I'm not making the back part of the beer flat, let it be voluminous, but in any case it is necessary to cut off the excess foam. Then I'll cover almost the whole head, excluding the nose and the halves of the ears, in the saturated brown color. By the way, the shade of the real Akuma is quite unusual, and it can be only achieved by mixing several colors. Now I'm coloring the whole part near the nose with white color and yellow for its ear halves. Now it remains to just apply the black stripes for the eyes, the lines around the nose and mouth, and also on the ears between the yellow and brown color. This squishy turned out to be quite interesting, and even if you just compare it with the picture, it will be exactly the same as the real Akuma. By the way, this set from the whole series of Hitohada gel, I think, is the most successful one. With this you can get really cool and good quality anti-stress toys, pretty much like the shop ones. But of course, everything will depend on how you color the toys. And the last set, which I'll also test today, it's a Hitohada gel for the silicone squishes. In the set, everything goes typically. You get a gel, a hardener, a powder, and an instruction manual. Well, this time I'll not just make a silicone anti-stress toy, but there will be an anti-stress cell phone case. I had the silicone molds from the Lego series for a long time, and I thought, why not to make a Lego phone case? To do this, we need to measure the desired volume, and for this I fill the molds with water, then transfer it into the container and put it on the weight scale. So we need to make a mixture of about 20 grams, but just in case I'll add 4 grams more, since the mixture for the silicone squishy needs to be mixed in 3:1 ratio, which means that we need to add 18 grams of gel and 6 grams of hardener. We'll mix the prepared liquid, pour it in the molds and wait for 24 hours. The day has passed, and it means that it's time to take them out. And to make sure that it doesn't stick much to hands, I'll constantly sprinkle a little bit of starch in it. In total, I've got 4 silicone anti-stress squishes. All these figures are nicely solidified, and they are almost without defects. Further, we'll need to paint the squishes. For the Lego man, I'll use yellow, red and blue, and a very thin brush. I'll paint the Lego bricks in 3 different colors. It will be green, orange and yellow. I decided to make the phone case just in white color, without any pictures, so that the emphasis will be exactly on the squishy. I'm applying the first layer with a brush and the next layer with a sponge. After the paint dries out, we'll put the small anti-stress Legos on the back case and glue them with the help of a super glue. Also on the phone case, I decided to add the inscription "As the Lego man says hi", so there will be no empty space and the phone case will look more interesting. And after a long work, I have got such a cool phone case. Of course, I understand that you are unlikely to do this at home, but I just wanted to show you how to make a cool DIY anti-stress phone case, which you'll certainly not find in any store. Well guys, on the basis of small experiments with the Hitohada gel, of course I can say that we get the same anti-stress squishes just like in a store, or maybe even better. If you want to make something unique, something which only you possess, then try this out. Personally, of all these sets, I like the one for creating ordinary soft squishes the most. It quickly solidifies, and thanks to the volume of foam, you can make a lot of toys. Well, with this, the video comes to an end. Hit the thumbs up, be sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to not miss out any new video. And that's all for today, thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye!
Blah, blah.